Dobrý den, ahoj, vítám vás v dalším díle našeho videopodcastu INION Talk. Tentokrát ve speciální edici, kterou natáčíme v Praze a rozhovor bude v angličtině. Pokud máte problém s angličtinou, pokud máte problém s mojí angličtinou, nebojte se, ve videu najdete i titulky, tak aby vám žádná informace neutekla. Já už teď změním do angličtiny a přivítám naše vážené hosty z No FLUFF JOBS. Hello, Paulina. Hello, Tomek.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Very well, thank you very much.
When did you come to Prague?
Actually, yesterday. So it's a short trip, but we really enjoy it.
Yeah, and from where did you come?
Well, we came from Poland. Both Tomek and I work in our Krakow office in Poland, and this is where we live. But our headquarters of our company are in Gdynia at the coast of the Baltic Sea.
Nice. Tell me, what is No FLUFF JOBS?
Sure. So No FLUFF Jobs is a top European IT job board. So we connect IT people, IT specialists who are looking for jobs with companies, IT companies or companies who are looking to hire IT specialists. And it's a specialized job board because it's dedicated solely for that industry. It was created by IT professionals and HR professionals for the IT and HR industry. Why? Because it was set up by our founders, Tomek and Magda, who Tomek used to be a software developer, and Magda was an IT recruiter who was looking for developers. And they used to live in Switzerland, and at some point decided to move to Poland and set up a job board that would change the standards of IT recruitment, first in Poland and now in other countries in the region.
Mm-hmm. How does No FLUFF JOBS revolutionize the IT standards?
I would say it comes down mainly to our values. So our three values are transparency, honesty, and respect. And transparency is the unique part that is also most visible in our product. So the way how the job post looks like, or a job ad looks like on our portal, is that every single ad has to have salary ranges.
Mm-hmm.
So basically we encourage every company to be transparent in how much they are able to pay for a given job position. And the second area is the format and the layout of the ad, which is very clear, very easy to follow, also easy to compare between ads, and also easy to search through. So I would say that these values, we want to encourage companies to be like that through our job ads, but also to be companies who promote transparency. And we are the only job portal that has the obligation to show salary ranges. So you will not ever find a job ad without the salary ranges. So this is how much we believe in transparency, and that transparency will push the change in recruitment processes.
And if I could add to this, because of course there are a lot of companies who right now do not provide the salary information, in the job offers, and why? The main reason usually is their existing pay structure for their existing employees is not 100% fair and clear, right? So they are afraid that if suddenly they start posting the salary information for the new offers, for the new job positions, their existing employees will realize, hold on a second, why I'm earning less than what you're offering to the new candidates. So basically, by convincing companies to start posting the salary ranges in the new offers, first of all, we actually are helping or pushing the companies to first of all clean up the internal pay scales for existing employees, to pay them fairly.
It's painful.
Right? Which also eliminates.
Necessary,
It's
right?
necessary. It eliminates. I agree. It's very difficult, but it also eliminates things like gender gap, right? Because everything is transparent. For all specific role, there is a range of salaries. And once there's the internal structures are there, then they start posting the ranges.
So ultimately, we are kind of pushing companies to become better companies, also for their candidates, for the current employees.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask, if I understand that correctly. If you help those companies to set up the actual ranges for each position, so after that they can offer those money ranges transparently. Is that correct?
We don't exactly tell them what should be the ranges, but we provide a lot of data that helps them decide. Because of course, every company needs to position themselves as they want to be seen on the market. Some want to be in the, let's say, third quartile. And so others want to be at the median of the market. So it's up to the company where they want to pay or their pay to be. But we are the ones whom they can ask to check, okay, where is the market? What is the breadth of the market? And we can prepare a very individualized report for their needs. Let's say, for example, for remote work only or for a given localization. And or also we provide general reports, and they are available on our websites to have an understanding of the current trend.
And it's not just about the location or whether it's a remote work or not, but also technologies. Different technologies pay different salaries.
And seniorities.
Exactly.
Juniors pay different, of course, than experts, let's say. So we take care and look after all those different details and provide pretty comprehensive data to clients who would find it useful.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me the ratio of companies who are transparent, who comes in maybe in different markets,
yes,
and who can post directly because they are transparent,
right,
and those who are not transparent and who need the help?
Sure. So in Poland, for example, where we have the largest client base, like when we started 8 years ago, of course, it was a big minority. It was actually very difficult to convince these companies to start posting their salary ranges, and but we're cautious and we're
Patient.
We're patient. Thank you. And there's a recent story where it took us 2 years for only one company to convince them.
And how did you convince them?
It's
I would say candidates convince companies. Because according to our data, it's around 90% of candidates who expect to see a salary range in an IT job ad. So when you, as a company, are in a really high demand for good IT talent, you have to do everything that you can to tell them we are the best company for you.
And you
want to work for us, so we need to also address your needs or your wants. So actually the fact that we research the market and we try to understand what is currently going on in the candidates' minds, we then share this information with the companies, with the whole market, and so we believe that this will also make the change, because companies will change to address those demands.
Mm-hmm. And regarding this ratio, of course, No FLUFF Jobs does not have this data because we have 100% clients who post the ranges. But we have some competitors who are not 100%, they don't promote 100% transparency. So we see the number of job offers over there. And I would say already in Poland, after the 8 years, minority of the job offers already do not have the ranges. So it's already, the market is changing. It's not still 100%. I suspect it may be, closer to 70%, but it's definitely a big change already that we believe will play the part in that market share.
So you are really disrupting the recruitment market,
yes,
and you are making it more transparent.
Yes, and we really are very proud of that, and we believe that this is the way to go. And so, our main tagline is salary in every ad, and this is what we will always stand by. This is a promise that we actually made to the IT world, that this is the way forward.
Actually, we sum it up right now. What is important for employees, for employers to attract IT professionals? But would you add something more? What could companies do to attract quality professionals? Because it's really difficult.
Sure, and of course, salary is the first thing that people look at. I would say that it really depends on the seniority. Of course, the juniors, for them, the most important thing is to get a job. Any job, really, just to get into the IT world. But then it changes. Once they have their first experience, once they know what they like, what they dislike in the IT world, once they start to understand which way they prefer to go in the future, then they become better, they specialize, and they have more comfort in doing what they want, not only what they can. And of course, when we look for example, the preferences of seniors or experts, definitely things that stand out are interesting projects. So it's not only the pay, but they want to feel they make an impact on something that they deem worthy of their time and effort. From the kind of like the benefits, let's say, side, remote work, definitely very high on the list. Flexibility in terms of working hours. So these are some of the things that are really big changes, also accelerated by the pandemic. But right now they did become a standard. So companies need to understand that, but also accept that this is the new standard. So this will also change how companies are run and how they are managed.
On the topic of remote work, recently we've done a research where I think more than 90% of candidates prefer to work remotely, and already more than 60% of them already work remotely. So there's a massive already change in the market. As Paulina said, COVID accelerated this, but that's the strong preference of a lot of IT professionals, remote work or hybrid. And on our platform, you can also check the exact, the offers, whether it's a hybrid, what's the ratio of remote versus in the office. All this information is there as well. Because some people prefer work remotely, but from time to time come to the office, and they also want to know the exact details, what's the desired ratio by the company.
As you are new to the market, to the Czech market, could you compare the difference between recruitment market in the Czech Republic and Poland?
We did such research, and we also analyzed the candidates from those perspectives. And what really was fascinating, that the markets are not that different. There is this common culture that we have that is shared. So we see that the same demand for salaries, the same demand for flexibility, and similar for remote work. So those elements are similar. When it comes to the categories which are the most common, backend definitely is the most common, again, in Poland, Czechia, Slovakia, Hungary, and Ukraine. That's definitely the leader. Then front-end and full stack and testing, they always come next, but in different orders in those different countries that we analyze. When it comes to the technologies themselves, SQL, Java, JavaScript, they are the ones who are on the top. And then Python is typically the fourth one. So again, these would be the similarities. Also, what is similar is the quality of English communication. And this is a very positive information, because this makes us really an attractive hub for the global market. And many of the candidates receive many offers from a company in Singapore, in the US, in Denmark. And so this really, you can sit in Karlovy Vary and work for a German company and be very happy, working in a great team on an interesting project. So that's I think very interesting.
On the other hand, on the topic, there is a very interesting data that we recently found out that more than 90% of Czechs said that their preferred dream job is to work for the Czech company. It's actually very different than in Poland or Ukraine, because Poles or Ukrainians.
Yes, that's nice.
Actually, it's true. Actually, it's true. We're actually positively surprised by that, because in Poland or in Ukraine, there's much more interest in working for, let's say, US companies or German companies. Also, 70% of Czech developers said that they are satisfied with the current jobs, whereas, let's say, in Poland, 40% are looking potentially for new jobs because they are not super happy with the salaries, which I think shows me that Czech developers are less willing to change jobs. They prefer more stable, long-term relationships with the employers, which actually makes it even more difficult from the employer's perspective, who are trying to hire more and more new tech talent, because there's a massive demand for the tech talent, or especially accelerated recently by this mega trend of the digitalization. More and more companies are moving their services to online. More and more companies are setting up new projects which are tech oriented. There are more and more fintech. A lot of startups are reliant on tech talent. So there's a massive imbalance between the number of developers on the market versus the needs. And especially if you are in Czech Republic, it's probably very difficult to find experienced developers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, on the other hand, that's why the advantage of No FLUFF Jobs is we are in 5 countries, in Poland, in Czech Republic, in Slovakia, Hungary, and in Ukraine. And we offer them the IT companies the opportunity to find developers in different countries. Especially that, as Paulina said, 70% of them speak very good English. So they can easily, and English is a standard language for the IT.
You mentioned the shortage of quality IT professionals. What do you think about career transition to IT industry?
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend it to people from marketing and from other fields of business to do the transition?
Mm-hmm.
What we do? How should they start? What would you recommend?
We definitely recommend it, but it's interesting. It's not only our recommendation, but it's been already happening because, well, it's just a very good working environment. Very often, IT companies are the most innovative, the most open to innovate, to changes, to also absorption of the new trends. So it's really cool to be at the cutting edge in your workplace and do something interesting. It's also cool to be doing projects that have impact, and very often IT is at the center of impact these days. So that's definitely something that's enticing. We've done a research and also a report on women in IT, and we found very interesting data that there are about 55% of women who are right now in IT, they have not studied anything IT related. So it shows that it is possible, right?
And you don't need the education, the higher education.
Because there are so many available courses, there are boot camps, there are mentoring programs, so there are possibilities to know how to navigate and find your own thing. Also, nearly half of the roles in IT for women that women have don't require coding skills, because this is something that very often frightens women. Oh, I'm not so technical, but there are so many roles, for example, like a project manager, like tester, business analyst, what else would you say?
UX designer.
UX design, yeah. That basically women are really great at, and they can do them very, very well just by kind of even at the start of their career in IT. So definitely we would encourage, and especially women are very welcome in the industry, because more and more companies realize that they lack the diversity, and diversity accelerates innovation. Yeah. So there are many different reasons why we would say yes, please
go for
it. Yeah.
And actually, speaking of go for it, we recently started a campaign called Go for It, or Go for IT, which presented 10 different stories of people who changed their career into IT. And they used to be jet pilots. There's one drummer. There is a stewardess, I think. There's someone who worked at the factory. Like a lot of different people from different professions told the stories of their life, how they moved to the IT. And some of them, yes, they code. They are programmers. They learn how to code from the junior to mid to senior. Others, as Paulina said, they don't need to code. They are still very valuable in their organizations. So how to get to this market? It's not easy. I would say that we can see the number of applications on senior positions are not that frequent compared to the applications we see on the juniors. There's a huge demand for junior competition. A lot of people want to get to this market. How to do it? I think it's great to find someone, to get to know someone who's already in the IT industry, so that this person can tell you in practice how to do it, explain to you the whole world of IT. Because I think still a lot of people do not understand what IT means. Like a lot of people think I'm just coding all the time for 8 hours a day. Actually, it's not that. Of course, that's part of the job, but But also, if you know someone, this person can give you some hints what to learn, what not to learn, can connect you with employers, and maybe they will get a trainee position. So finding kind of a mentor or colleague
you can relate to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, and I think it's also good to understand from the very early beginning that in IT you have to keep learning all your life.
Continuous improvement.
Things will
yes.
keep changing, so you need to be open. That it's not like, oh, I'll learn for 3 years and then I'll know it all. No, things change so quickly that I think this attitude and approach is just necessary.
And the last thing I would encourage people to look, even who are considering joining the IT, to look at No FLUFF Jobs and check out what kind of junior positions are there. What are, for example, the most typical programming languages, or what to learn, what not to learn, and that's also a useful source of information where to start.
That's really great. What are you doing, guys? I hope that this disruption of IT recruitment process will be expanded to also other sectors. That also other sectors will become transparent. Do you have any open positions in No FLUFF Jobs? As you are new to the market, maybe you are looking for people. I think that it's really inspirational what you do. So maybe also our viewers will be interested in open positions.
Yes, we are actually hiring on different markets because we are expanding to new markets also in Western Europe. And we are open to having people from Poland, from Czech Republic, from Hungary, and other countries where we're present. So in sales, in marketing, in HR, different areas. So we would definitely encourage you to come to our website, nofluffjobs.com, about us. And then on our company profile, there is a whole list. I think we have about 30 open positions right now. So we definitely are in the growth phase.
Great. Thank you for the interview. Thank you for you to be here.
Great, thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Děkujeme a vidíme se příště v dalším díle podcastu INION Talk.